What's up, YouTube? It's the Big Kahuna back again with another video, and I like to give a shout out to Super Calhoun. I also like to give a shout out to two YouTubers. Check their channels out. One is John Doe 813. Check him out. He's got good content. Another one is Showstopper 2121. Check him out. He's probably got one of the funniest YouTube channels around talking about gaming. This brother will make you laugh your ass off. Check him out. So, I mentioned John Doe because he has a series that he calls My Two Cents, and I thought that was just brilliant. So, I decided to come up with something, and I'm going to call it The Dumb Shit That Fanboys Say. And that assures that I'll always have content because fanboys always say some dumb shit. Now, this will be my opinion on the dumb shit that they comment on. But anyway, moving on to Showstopper. Showstopper gave me this idea. I was going to do this video anyway. And it's basically talking about the whole sales thing. And it also ties in with the dumb shit that these fanboys have been saying. So, but his idea is, since I've done a couple videos with some drawings in it, he said I should draw a world map and show on the map the territories. You know, XB1 versus the PlayStation 4. And I said, you know what, that's a great idea. I should do that. But the only thing is, I couldn't find where the actual territories were on the map. So if I couldn't accurately show my subscribers on the map where the territories were, I decided I just wasn't going to do it. But I did do a sketch, and this is what one of the sketches looked like. So as you can see, you'll see like the green areas, and I just put those on there. Those aren't really representing the actual territories. I'm pretty sure there are in some of these territories that I did put on that map, but unless I could do it accurately, I just decided I wasn't going to go with that. So I said forget it. But anyway, good idea, Showstopper. You the man. But anyway, going on to today's video. So we're going to go to 2013. And I'm going to show you how ponies use logical thinking when they want, and then when it doesn't serve their purpose, then they use pony logic, or as Showstopper would say, that pony dust. So in 2013, Sony came out with the PlayStation 4, and instantly they sold over 1 million copies, which was extraordinary and good for gaming altogether. Because before that, all the journalists were talking dumb shit about how tablets were going to destroy consoles and the phones were going to destroy consoles, because eventually they were going to be more powerful than the console. You would get better graphics, and plus everybody likes to play on their tablet and their phones anyway. Well, don't speak for me, because I don't play on tablets and I don't play on phones. So anyway, that showed right there that the consoles have staying power no matter what these guys was trying to say. So then a week later, XB1 comes out and it sells over 1 million consoles. Now, of course, you know, the ponies were trying to downplay this like it was nothing, no type of feat at all. But the Microsoft side was really happy, because before that, with all the bad press that Microsoft was getting about their console, the ponies coming down on the console, even the Microsoft fans coming down on the console, the journalists coming down on the console, and it still out the gate sold over 1 million consoles, which was also extraordinary, especially with all the bad press that they were getting. Then you throw in Don Matrick. What a fuck up. But anyway, so 18 days after that, Microsoft sells over 2-point-something million consoles. And Sony also sold over 2-point-something million consoles. So here is where the ponies use some real logical thinking when they want to. So, like I said, the XB1 fans was happy because their console of choice sold over 2 point whatever million consoles, and everybody was saying that Microsoft was going to be dead out the water, and that wasn't the case. So, of course, the Sony fan boys had to come try to smash that by saying, well, you guys are a failure because you're in 13 territories and Sony's only in 2. And they was running around like Tarzan in a loincloth, beating their chests, going, oh, we are only in 2 territories and you're in 13. So you guys are a bunch of failures. This is what they were saying. They was using logic. Then fast forward to 2014. Now Sony has sold 10 million, which is a great feat. And Microsoft has sold 5 million, which is also a great feat, just not as great as the 10 million. So here's where all of a sudden the ponies put their blinders on. They running around, still Tarzan, with their loincloth on, bragging about how the Xbox is getting its ass whooped. It's being outsold 3 or 4 to 1. This is what they're saying. But what they're not saying, which they were saying in 2013, which they're not saying, is Microsoft is still in the same 13 territories and Sony is in 100 from what I'm hearing now. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to say 74. You really want to beat your chest about a company that's in way more territories than another company and brag about that? You should be outselling the XB1, because if you wasn't outselling the XB1, there would be a sure enough problem, especially at the company with the board of directors when they sitting up in there going, what the hell's going on? You got Microsoft over here in 13 territories. We're in 100 territories, but for the sake of this video, 74 territories, and we're not outselling that company. What the hell are they doing over there where they're outselling us? But, of course, you ponies don't talk about that. The journalists don't talk about that. Anybody who talks about sales figures act like they don't see that Microsoft is in less territories. You may hear somebody bring it up once in a blue moon, but they'll pass over it real quick. Yeah, well, Microsoft's in 13 territories. But anyway, they're getting outsold by a lot. It only makes sense that they should get outsold if Sony is in more territories. But like I said, this is the dumb shit that you fanboys continuously say over and over. Then some of them say, well, they're being outsold in America too. You act like they're getting creamed in America. Yes, they're getting outsold in America, and a lot of it is due to still these gaming websites and some of these YouTube channels out here that spread a lot of disinformation and negative stuff about, the XB1. I still had to argue recently with a guy who said that he was getting a PS4 because he wanted Destiny, and since it wasn't coming to the XB1, that's why he was getting a PS4. And I said, oh really? I said, you do realize that Destiny is also coming on the XB1? He said, no, it's not. And he argued with me. No, it's not. It's exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Now, granted, PlayStation 4, Sony, whatever you want to call it, they come out and try to make it seem like certain games are coming to only their console. And I know I'm going to get some hate for this, and as we seen recently, but at least, right after that, he came out and corrected that. But when they was at Gamescom, Microsoft kind of made it seem like, Tomb Raiders was going to be exclusive to their console, and it wasn't coming to any other console. Granted, they didn't say that, but they did say exclusive to the XB1. I was thinking, and mostly everybody else was thinking, that it was only coming to the XB1. Now, we don't know if it's a time exclusive, but we don't know if it's coming to the PlayStation 4 or not, or if it's just going to the PC. We don't know. And frankly, I really don't care. But I mean, that's another subject I'm gonna talk about later, about these fanboys and how they went rabid and everything about when they first heard the announcement at Gamescom. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about, you guys need to drop that whole sales thing. Now, once we come out in, or once Microsoft comes out in 100 countries like you guys, and then if you want to continue to brag about your sales, then you can. But sales does not mean that you have a better console. It just means you have a more popular console. I can't sit here and debate with you ponies on which console is better, because it's all a matter of one's opinion. So, with all that being said, as I always say, fanboys don't love their favorite system. They just hate yours. Peace.